So hey all, what's going on? The journey begins, and it's interesting because for a long time I've been thinking about doing a podcast, and for a long time I've wanted to just get up there and talk about things because I like podcasts. But the thing is, I feel like in order to to do something, you got to have a voice. You got to be passionate about something, and I think that is so important. Instead of just getting on a microphone and talking to people, you just got to be you got to be you. You got to have something to say, and it's got to be something that whether you get one listener or a million listeners, it doesn't make a difference. You just got to say it because you want to do it. You want to put it out to the world, and this is how I got here. My name is Mike Muldoon. I'm actually a certified life coach trainer, and fairly new to the whole certification process. But I've been coaching people for a long time, and a lot of it at first just came through my whole, all through my own trials and tribulations, all things I've been through. And I'm a bit of an empath, so I can always feel people, and I think a lot of my own experiences that I'd gone through, which when I look back at my life, and when I was going through it, I'm like, God, these things suck. But then I realized a lot of those were just lessons that helped me grow to become the person I am today. And obviously, as I continue to grow, I talk a little bit about my background, if you want to know, in my book that I'm currently writing. And you can read a little bit on my website at mikemuldoonlc.com. You can read a little bit of there, but it's titled Shut Up, Get Up, which is, again, obviously named after my podcast here. But anyway, the important thing to understand about the Shut Up, Get Up podcast, it really isn't about telling you to personally shut up, but it's about shutting up those voices, whether those voices are coming inside you or from those voices that are coming from all those naysayers outside. It's just about getting you to understand that the voices don't have to dictate your life. Like a lot of time, these voices that we think are ours aren't ours. It was just a voice put there by somebody else. It was a voice that maybe limited you. It said something to you, and again, we'll talk more about this down the line, but you onboarded it into your subconscious mind and thought, okay, well, this is it. A great example, that we've all heard when we were kids, especially kind of grew up where I grew up, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, where did that come from? And who told you that, as a kid? And then why did you believe it so hard? And why maybe in your life right now is money so hard to come by? It's just a lot of things in our lives. We don't realize that we're just limiting ourselves. And if we don't take time to identify these voices and identify where they're coming from or where we maybe took them on in life and start realizing, hey man, I don't believe in this. Or, I don't know why I'm following this. This doesn't fit into what I really believe. And if we really, really take this in and become consciously aware of our thoughts, right? And start forming new belief systems, we can change our lives. You can change your life. And that's all we're going to do here. This is what the Shut Up, Get Up podcast is all about. It's helping you shut up those voices. It's helping you to see things from a different perspective. It's helping you to understand that, where so many people are limited because of their concerns and thoughts about maybe sometimes what others are thinking about them or what others have thought about them. I mean, how many people are not living the lives they want to live? They're just, they're existing in the world, all right? They're just existing. They're not living, they're just existing. They go about every day. If you go up to somebody and say, hey man, are you living? They say, yeah, I'm living. No, really, are you living? And they're like, are you living a life? And they'll say, yeah, look at me. I'm breathing. I've got a job. I got a car. I make money. But are you really living? Living, I'm not just talking about, living, you have to be some sort of fanatic. I'm not talking you have to live dangerously, you got to live crazy. I'm not saying you got to be some sort of extremist. And I'm saying, hey, bro, you got to climb Everest because that's the only way you can live your life, man. You got to defy death because that's the only way you can live, man. I'm just talking about getting up every day and saying, you know what? I like today. Things are good today. I'm not saying you're going to have a bad day, but for the most part, I like what I'm doing. I'm moving towards something. I like the fact that I took a chance. I like the fact that I'm in this job. I like the fact that I went out with this person on a whim. I'm on this relationship. I like the fact that I'm just enjoying my life. You're not waiting for Saturdays to show up. You're not waiting for Sundays. You're just not waiting for payday. You're not waiting for, 1 week off a year, 2 weeks a year, whatever. You want more for yourself. And the thing is, you are completely 100% entitled to have more for yourself. But you got to understand, the only reason you're not doing this is because you're listening to these voices that keep rising up out of you and saying, hey man, I can't get out of this relationship. I'll never find another one. You're somebody who, doesn't believe they can lose weight because, well, my family's just big people. We just have this challenge in our lives. So you never even try to do it. I mean, there are so many things going on in our lives that are limited. So many other voices put in there by people that we've just completely onboarded as if these are our belief systems. And we just spew these things around. We just spew. Somebody says something, and we don't even know where it came from. But if you actually took a moment and look back in your life, you'd be like, well, I didn't really find that out for myself. That's what my parents used to say. That's what my friends told me. That's what my coach, that's what my teachers told me. And when you start paying attention, wait, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But if you have to become aware of these thoughts and these patterns of thinking, and if you change them, you will change your life. So here I am. By the time this thing drops, I turned 48 years old. Yes, I'm 48 years old today, though I'm recording this a little bit earlier because I like to be prepared, but I'm 48 years old. And you know what? I spent a lot of time existing. I mean, for the most part, I existed in a pretty fun way, but a lot of time, just existing. And, just going through life, and spending a lot of years. And then one day I just realized, like what's going on here? And then I started realizing that I have to control my own destiny. Like, I can change things. Now, granted, we get so used to just going through the motions so much that we're not even paying attention. And ever since I've done that, things have changed. When I become more acutely aware of my thoughts, not spiraling down a rabbit hole of negativity. Stop it. Wait, where did that come from? No, that's not mine. That came from somebody else. No, I don't believe in that. And the thing is, I've grown, and to be honest, I'm still growing. I mean, I'm nowhere where I want to be, but at least I can see it now, and I know it's possible. And I keep moving forward. I keep moving towards it. And I think anybody who's been around me a long time and is still around me now, they've seen it. They see it, man, he's going. I mean, they're seeing it. And the thing about this now is, what really helps me is I'm seeing it, which made me really passionate about, want to help other people. And obviously, I know you can't help everybody. You can only help people that want to be helped. And I totally get that. But the thing, is this is what I've got. And it's really funny because when I first met my wife, I've been with my wife for, gosh, she's going to kill me for not knowing this. We've been married 9 years. Yes, we've been married 9 years. But I've known my wife for almost 10 and a half years. And when I first met her, and she's always like, you're a pretty optimistic guy and you're really good with people. She's like, you should be one of those coaches. And I was like, what? She's like, no, you should be like one of these life coaches. And I was like, no, that's not all what I want to be. Like, I had a whole other thing. This is what I'm going to do. And I guess at the time I just wasn't prepared or even receptive to just understanding. I really do like helping people. I want to work with people. It's interesting. My first foray into coaching actually came from actually coaching. I played high school sports, played college football, and I got an opportunity to coach a football team. Got to work with a lot of young men and stuff like that. And I found myself often talking about life more than talking about hey, this is how you read this defense and this is how, these are the routes we're running and all this stuff. I found myself talking to these guys a lot more about how they're not limited by anything except themselves. And I spent a lot of time talking about that because I firmly believe that. Now, I know some people might be listening to this right now going, oh my gosh, is this going to be one of those happy, lighthearted, everything so positive shows? Hey man, you can do anything if you just, set your mind to it, man. And well, the truth of the matter is, yeah, you can probably do anything you set your mind to, but you know what? There's also some reality behind it. And the thing about my show is we're going to get real sometimes. Okay. So, for instance, let's talk about some real right here. I'm going to be 48 years old and I love football. I love the New York Jets. I'll admit it. I do. But I'm never going to be the quarterback for the New York Jets. No matter how hard I work physically, I'm probably just not going to hold up. But it's okay. But on the flip side of all that, I know if I actually put in the work to try to be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets, really put in the work for that, I'll probably still come out better for it, as a person. But that's the whole thing about life. Sometimes you don't achieve what you want to do, but you're still better off for going after it. You're still better off. And you know what? You're going to find something else along the way. Probably in my case, if I did, a solid 6-pack of abs, right? Probably a BMI of about half of what I'm carrying right now. But you're going to find something along the way and you might realize, oh man, if I wouldn't have done this, I never would have found that. Again, this is what the Shut Up, Get Up podcast is all about. We're going to now start shutting up the voices in our head and we're going to start getting up. We're going to get into action. We're going to start doing things. And this is the stuff we're going to talk about week in and week out. Just getting you to understand why we do what we do. Getting some more understanding of the thoughts behind the thoughts that are really controlling us. And I'm so excited to be doing this, man. I found something that I can use my voice for. I found something that like I said, whether I get one person or a million people, I don't care. I don't care as long as I can impact one person, I would be so satisfied by that, right? Because again, the message here, life is about living. It's not about existing. And if you open up your eyes and you look around, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see just people's eyes. They just look glazed over. They're just going through the motions. They don't even know why. They just get up, they go to work, they come home, they sit down, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. They go out in the world, do this. Half the time they're on complete autopilot, just going through the world. Just a cog in the machine, And it could be anybody, man. It could be anybody. It could be that guy who seems to have it all, right? He's got all the money in the world and you might think he's the happiest person. And let me tell you something, money doesn't make you happy. Let's be honest. It does make your life a heck of a lot easier, but it doesn't make you happy. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're living as well. I've seen poor people are happy and I've seen poor people who seem like they're living their best lives. All right? Because a lot of it just comes from having a sense of purpose, right? Getting up and doing something every day. You're just like, man, I'm excited about this. This is great. I'm not saying that you're not going to have a bad day. All right? I'm not saying that sometimes things aren't going to suck because they do. And let's be honest with it. And it's okay, you know what, everybody, to get a little negative once in a while, okay? It's okay to be a little negative once in a while, right? You can have a bad day. You can vent. You can complain to the world. What you can't do is stay there. And we'll talk more about that down the line, right? We're going to talk more about that down the line. But listen, again, life is about living. So the Shut Up podcast, man, I'm glad if you just got through this first episode. I'm happy to have you. I'd love for more to come on my journey. Maybe you know somebody out in the world right now. Maybe this isn't for you, but you're like, hey, you know what? This would be really great for this person over here. I'd love for you to turn them on to it. And I'm so happy that you even took some time to get here. And just so you know, I've released the next episode as well to go with this because I want you to kind of understand my structure a little bit, thematically how we're moving through all this stuff. And it just, again, thank you so much for being with me right now. Thank you so much. And listen, you can always reach out to me on my website at MikeMuldoonLC.com. Other than that, people, from now forward, let's roll, all right? Let's roll. Shut up. Get up.